All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know we're a little late. I apologize for that. You guys are going to see that tonight is going to be a little bit different. This weekend we learned that the meeting agenda for our regularly scheduled school board meeting was unintentionally not posted on our website. It was, however, publicly posted at our ESC and at all of our campuses. However, out of an abundance of caution and in consideration of the Open Meeting Act requirements, we're scheduling the business portion of the monthly meeting at a later date this month. On a side note, Chris, I'd like to apologize for the words and the tone of the email that you received from a community member over that. You've done a great job. I've been in this role for 10 years, and in 10 years' time, that is the only time that has occurred. So that had put you at 99-point-something% accuracy, and I'd say that's pretty good. There was no reason to unintentionally not get it up on our website. Like I said, it was already posted in its own right. The agenda was very short. Coach Barton isn't here because he got the night off, and part of the reason it was very short is I believe there's a football game tonight, if we have any football fans in the audience, and so we weren't going to load the night with a meeting. For those of you who did not see the agenda, it was the consent agenda, which is the part that we just approve all of them at once, was the minutes from our December 21 meeting, the monthly financials for December of 21, any out-of-district transfer students, and a subject statement on the impact of a charter school expansion that's in our area. The considered agenda was nothing more than our financial audit from an external firm that does that, and we were going to review that, and we would have voted and had consideration on that. And that was it. We decided we would not let a situation like that distract or take away from what we all agree is the very most important part of these meetings, and that's recognizing our students and our teachers and the great things that the district is doing. So we're going to go ahead and do that tonight. Also tonight you guys are going to see that we've got former, and I keep catching myself, I don't want to say old because I'm old too. We have former board members in the audience with us, and we're going to talk about them here in a bit. We have our students of the month, we have a teacher of the month, and we also have a PBK art contestant winner, all very important things to our district. We're also going to hear anyone that signed up to speak. We're also going to hear those folks speak because, as everybody knows, if you've come, we can't act on that or do anything anyway, so that doesn't change the fact that somebody can come and speak. So we are going to go ahead and do that part of the meeting too. So at this time, if everyone would please stand, Mr. Gary Blizzard's going to lead us in the invocation.
Can y'all hear me okay? All right, if you would choose, please bow your heads and we'll say a prayer before we begin. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for so many things. We thank you for all the ways our district is blessed. We thank you for the students, the teachers, administration here that we can just celebrate and recognize. We give a special thanks to, as Chuck said, our former board members who served you and served this community and laid the groundwork for the ground we stand on today. And we just thank you for all their years of service. We thank you also for the parent leadership group who has stuck their neck out and volunteered to be a part of a learning organization that can help us at some time in the future. We just are blessed in so many ways, and we thank you for all of that. And we just give you all the glory and the praise. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If everybody remains standing, we actually have 3 students of the month this month. So Roman Kohler of Bear Branch Junior High, Sadie Elliott of Magnolia Junior High. Sadie,
no,
yes.
You're good.
And Lakin Fernie of Smith Elementary. If y'all all come forward, knee brace. If y'all would all come forward and lead us in our pledges, I'd appreciate it. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm not sure who is going first. My guess would be Roman.
Yes, yes, Ms. Figgis.
There we go.
Well, good evening. Dr. Stevens, Mr. Adcox, members of the board, we are here to present our Student of the Month for Bear Branch Junior High. This is Roman Kohler. And when we sat down as a team to decide who we would be bringing to present here to the district tonight, it was a unanimous decision that this is the young man that we felt was the right person to stand up and represent our campus. Roman's an 8th grader at Bear Branch Junior High and is a bright young man that exudes great character. He is kind, respectful, helpful, and a role model student. Roman is an active member of the National Junior Honor Society who is always committed to do his best no matter what class he is attending. Though his favorite subject is history, Roman excels in all classes. He is also quite the entrepreneur. Roman runs a successful power washing business with his brother Mason, who is here tonight, and makes and sells custom paracords such as duck call lanyards. And just on a personal note, one day I saw Roman in the front office making something. I didn't even know what it was at the time, to which he told me it was a duck lanyard that he was making. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yes, I often bring this to school for when I'm in class and I'm done with my work because I know it doesn't disturb the rest of the class if I work on it. I want that kid in my class every day of the week. Roman is joined here tonight by his parents. We have Dave and Jen Kohler. They are here tonight as well as his siblings. We've got Mason, who is a senior, and London, who is in 5th grade, as well as Mimi and Pawpaw and Grandma, all here tonight. Welcome. Thank you for coming. When I asked Roman where he wanted to go to college, he said, anywhere I can get a baseball scholarship. It's a good answer. I'll go with that. He's been playing baseball since he was a little boy. He couldn't even remember how old he was when he started. It's just been a really long time. I did talk to some of his teachers, and even a high school teacher reached out who was his 7th grade math teacher, Miss Seeley, and she said, Roman is one of the hardest working students I have ever had. On top of being a hard worker, he is not afraid of a productive struggle and is always up for a challenge. He strives to do his best in the classroom. He is a great friend and teammate to his peers, and he always is so polite and respectful to me. Miss Powell, his current history teacher, says Roman is a blessing to have in class. In addition to being a very hardworking student, he is also extremely polite and kind to myself and other students. For NJHS, Roman is very helpful with the Veterans Day program. Overall, Roman is a great kid, and BBJH is very lucky to have him as a student. His Spanish teacher, Miss Calindra, says Roman is always committed to do his best and is a joy to have in class. And then I heard from Miss Gomez, who has had Roman for 2 years now in an ag class. She says Roman is a model student. He shoots for the stars and always exceeds them. He always has a smile on his face, greets me as I walk the halls, and always asks how I'm doing. He's a student I can always count on. Roman is respectful and a leader in the classroom. I am so proud of him. We would like to congratulate Roman Kohler for being our Student of the Month.
All right, Principal Slater. Will you and Sadie? I'm sorry, we made you make that walk twice. That's just not fair.
Well, I want to thank Dr. Stevens and the board for having us here tonight to present you guys Magnolia Junior High Student of the Month. This is Sadie Elliott. Sadie is an 8th grader at our school. Sadie's joined tonight by her dad, Shane, and her mother, Tana. She has another brother and sister, but Stella, her youngest sister there, said they don't matter, and that's why she's here tonight. I think it would be safe to say, when I called Sadie into my office to let her know that she was this month's Magnolia Junior High Student of the Month, that the teachers all voted, and they voted for Sadie. And I showed her her name on the marquee outside my window. She was a little shocked. She thought there's a punchline coming. But that tells you a lot about who Sadie is. She's not looking for recognition. She is not looking to score points. She's always doing consistently what is right because it's the right thing to do. It probably then would come as no surprise to find out that Sadie, when kind of asked the character value that she identifies most with, of the 5 character values that we emphasize at our school, she identified integrity. So that's the thing that's most important to her. It's the most important thing to what she looks for in other people, but for her too. And then to hear her teachers talk about her, that starts to make sense. So Sadie's a good student, and she's an outstanding athlete, although she's a little laid up right now. But those things are not what come through when you ask teachers about who Sadie Elliott is. So Miss Caldwell, who's her math teacher, who's actually here tonight, said, in fact, if I was to read all the things that people said, it would take an hour. So I'm going to keep this as short as I can and just pick out the highlights here. But Sadie is kind, courteous, friendly, and helpful. She looks after others. She helps them when they need it. She wants others to feel successful. Then she goes on to talk about Sadie's great sense of humor and all the things that she does in class and how Sadie is a blessing to have in her class. She also said, "You're one of the coolest kids she knows." Then her English teacher, Sadie has such a kind, genuine heart. She's devoted to working hard and being successful. Lots of other stuff. But then you go on to even our woodworking teacher, Mr. Ward, he got in here and was like, oh, man, her smile is infectious, and she always has the most positive attitude and is working to make sure that others are taken care of. Sadie is a wonderful example of a great student. Sadie brings 100% to class every day. Her drive and her perseverance are all evident in all she does. And that's her science teacher. And then it goes on and on and on. But Sadie would never tell you that about herself. Sadie's doing the right things because it's the right thing to do. And that's what makes it such a joy to recognize her tonight. Because junior high is hard. And junior high is not always when we are our best selves. So when we are able to call out a student who's already figured out that that's how you make the world a better place, it's an honor to be able to bring her here and show her that that's a really important thing that she does. So this is Sadie Elliott, and she's our Magnolia Junior High Student of the Month.
You're next.
I told her, just like morning assembly, you got this. All right. Well, good evening. I want to thank the school board and Dr. Stevens for giving me the opportunity to recognize one of our best and brightest. So it is an honor to introduce you to Lakin Fernie. She's a 4th grader at Smith, and she came to our school when she was in 1st grade, and she was immediately one of these kids who everyone just knew her name and knew her. I mean, she's that kind of kid. But before I get into why she was chosen, I want to introduce her fan club to you. So she is joined tonight by her parents, Elizabeth and Ben Fernie, her aunt, Carla Duran, and family friends, Chris, Brody, Parker, and Kate Dees, and then also her 4th grade teachers, Miss Kaminsky and Miss Hart are here, and her former art teacher and our PTO president, Miss Boland, is also here to cheer her on. So her teachers expressed pretty much why she was chosen, so I want to read what they said. They said, "The moment you meet Lakin, she brightens your day. She greets everyone with a smile, encourages others, and is courteous and kind. She does not give up on her work, even when it is challenging, and she asks questions and has that kind of mindset that she knows will grow her as a learner. She is dedicated to doing her best on every task. She shows us daily what determination looks like, and we can all learn from her example." Her mom said that she has a kind nature and wants to serve others. She added that Lakin is creative, she loves to sing and dance, and she is athletic. And where she really shines is on the soccer field. And her team has gotten first place for the last several years. And then Lakin shared with me that something very cool that's happened was she got to attend a soccer clinic with a professional coach. and she hopes to play soccer professionally someday. And I hope to see her because I hear she's very, very talented. She is a member of our flag crew and of our safety patrol, and something I have to say about her and the safety patrol, when she's out, opening cars for kids, a lot of times they just open them and close them. But Lakin is sure to open that door, say good morning, hello, how are you doing, and have a great day, and she just builds everyone up that she meets. She has not decided on a college yet, but if playing soccer doesn't work out, she is interested in becoming a dentist or working with animal rescue, and she did share with me that sometimes she prefers to play with her dogs more than her friends. She just has a heart for helping animals. I hope all of y'all get to meet Lakin and just talk to her. She is just one of the most positive kids I have ever known, and I am very proud that she is representing Smith Elementary and Magnolia ISD as the Elementary Student of the Month. Lakin Fernie.
Y'all go ahead and stay up here. I think we're going to get a picture, and I think there's another gift. So I'm sorry, it's going to be a third time that. Oh, good. They let you sit closer.
Parents, you're welcome to pictures up here now.
Thank y'all again. You guys are the only person from your school that's going to be up here. So that's a huge honor, and we look forward to seeing more of you, and I'm sure we will. When you get that off. Thank you guys again. I think they deserve another round of applause. All right, Dr. Todd, I think you're.
And we had three because we had to kind of catch up, didn't we? We had a gap in last month. And I mean, to our former board members, it's always the favorite part of our meeting when we get to recognize our kids and some of the things we do. And we've gotten aware that this first part of our meeting, just there's all sorts of recognitions, and it's just this, partly because we got a lot of kids that deserve to be recognized. And we do one other thing as part of this, is that we also recognize our outstanding teachers of the month. So every, school board meeting, we're bringing up teachers because we're talking about keeping the main thing. Well, it's about students and it's about great teachers. But tonight, we get a chance to honor some of those people who serve this district in a unique capacity. The month of January across the state of Texas is School Board Appreciation Month. And tonight, we're very blessed to have a group, a cadre of former board members from Magnolia ISD who have served for several decades back. I won't get into the years of service and how far that goes back, but many of them were in junior high at the time when they first served as a part of that. But no. But again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here. And what we want to express to you as this district and our school board and our community is those years of service that you put in, those thankless hours that you spent, putting in time, Glenn, before the board meeting, studying the agenda, to figure out what was a part of the things we were going to vote on, wrestling with those issues at times that seemed so large and looming that had to do with our kids and parents and those issues that we had to make some decision about, determining the trajectory of where this district was going to go. Those late hours that we spent wrestling over some issue in an executive session, they pay off. they made a difference. They've changed somewhat the trajectory of where this district is going. And we talk about we want to become the best district in the state of Texas, and not that that's a destination we'd ever know we're going to get there, but because of your service, because of your love of students and what happens in those classrooms, your work has helped us move closer toward that target. And I just want to thank you for it. We're going to recognize you. As I call your name, would you please stand? And in fact, come up here and so we can give you one big round of applause once we've got you up here. But Glenn Addison, the Honorable Cecil Bell Jr., Steve Cruz, Miss Annette Kerr, Kelly McDonald, sounds like a basketball game, I'm bringing them up here, Deborah Rose Miller, the one and only, Bobby Montgomery, Brent O'Neill, Marcy Parker. This may be our board member that served from the farthest back. I'll just leave that. Senior rep at this point. And Alta did not show up, did she, tonight? Miss Alta was farther. I thought she was going to be here. Miss Vicki Rudy may have come the farthest tonight. And Lorraine Worley. Ladies and gentlemen, all of your past board members from Magnolia Isd representing a ton of service. Let's give them a big round of applause for the work they've done for this district. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. And now, we turn our attention toward the 7, or actually 6, that are seated up here. And as superintendent and as a representative of those in administration and the moms and dads and the kiddos from this district, I especially want to thank you for your service, for your leadership. We are a team of 8. Our decisions are much stronger because, all of us together are smarter than any one of us individually. And again, I appreciate your leadership and your insights. There's not a yes man on this group. I mean, you bring your opinions, you bring your ideas, you bring your energy and drive to this board, and you make a difference for where we are. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all that time. And you are making a difference of who we are in Magnolia ISD. Ladies and gentlemen, your current school board of Magnolia ISD Board of Trustees, would y'all please stand up? Stand up. And that's all I had to say on that.
That's about all I have to say.
You didn't know what to do without ending saying that we were the best group you've ever.
Well, I will say this,
They're watching.
a lot of people have asked me about my favorite board. I don't know why the favorites ever come up on that, but I will say that my favorite board members are in attendance here tonight.
I like that. Well, thank you guys again for taking time. You gave a bunch of your time when you were on the school board, and you gave time tonight to be here, and I really appreciate y'all being willing to do that. Even more so, I appreciate the fact that all of you are continuing to work in your communities in different roles, and that's amazing to me, because that's what makes our state a great state, and I'll argue that's what makes this part of Texas a great part of Texas to be in. So thank you guys again for taking time to come.
We had a chance to share some little bit about some of the things about service, but we really didn't get to talk about some of the stories of the board, and maybe we can share some of those afterwards, but there are some good ones.
All right, with that, Dr. Garza, I think you're up.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce our Magnolia ISD Teacher of the Month for January. It is Mrs. Karen Caldwell from Magnolia Junior High. This is her 21st year in education, her 3rd year with MISD. She's our department chair for MJH, and when I asked Mr. Slater, I said, why'd you choose her? He gave me a whole litany of reasons about leadership and how great she is, but one thing he said really stuck out to me. I said, man, your math data looks really good for the semester. He said, well, we've got a great team, but we have a great leader. So, Ms. Kohler, we appreciate everything that you do for us for MISD. David?
Thank you, Dr. Garza. Yeah, we do. When I first got this position, there's some really smart people that are actually in this room that said the only thing that matters, or at least the first thing that matters in your job, is hire well. And they were right. And you are proof positive as to that. Karen Caldwell has transformed Magnolia Junior High's math department. When she showed up 3 years ago, we had her in a 7th grade math classroom, and she was amazing from the moment she hit the ground. But I think what really speaks to her excellence is the fact that in a very short period of time, that excellence expanded beyond her own room. And it started to infiltrate all the other classrooms around her. And it didn't take me very long to figure out that this was our next department chair, because I needed her to go spread that influence all over the place. So, the great part is that even through the difficulties of last year, Karen Caldwell didn't stop. That she was able to continue pushing innovation up and down that math hallway in a way that was so inspiring, I think, to others, that now those methods have trickled into our science department, into our social studies department. Even English is like, hey, what's going on over there, right? And every day, I am so thankful that she is in her classroom and doing the things she is with her students, but also doing the things that she is doing with our other teachers, because she's having a massive impact on our success, and I can't appreciate her anymore.
It's funny because when I first started teaching, I never really liked math until I started teaching. And once I started teaching, I fell in love with math. And so for me to be able to pass that along to my kids and for them to be able to finally have those aha moments, there's nothing better, and a better compliment for me as a teacher is when a kid says, I never understood math until this year. Now I actually like math. This is my favorite class. And for me, that's what it's all about. I started in elementary. I've taught everything from 4th through 8th grade. And junior high is just my love. They're a challenge, they're fun. Every day is different, no day is ever boring. And so it's fun to see them kind of come into their own as people and start questioning the world around them and really start to settle into who they are as people. Well, I think in particular with junior high, it's a little bit harder just because we have a shortened period of time. So that's why I like working at small groups with my kids, so I can really get to know them a little bit better there in the few minutes that I can snag while we're working on math together. My joy is to laugh and joke with them and have fun because, yes, it's about the curriculum, but it's also about them and getting to know them and their lives outside of school too. Well, it's just nice to be able to come to work every day and work with our kids and put them first and just really see them shine and see them light up. And the classroom is part curriculum, but part just getting them ready for life, and that to me is what education is all about.
Like, where is she?
Hello, congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, we're gonna load up. It's a whole thing.
Ready?
Don't forget the most important part.
So my name is Stacy Norris, and representing the Magnolia Education Foundation, along with our other sponsors, Chick-fil-A, Cane's Chicken, Healing Key Spa, and HEB, we would just like to thank Ms. Caldwell and congratulate her on being a light and an inspiration for students, fellow teachers. And I have to say, in the video I noticed on your wall, you had some educator certificates. That made me very happy as well. So the students know what they've got in you. So that's really wonderful. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm leaving.
Tonight, it's my privilege to get to introduce and actually have them to graduate, so to speak, tonight, our 10th Leadership Magnolia ISD Parent Cohort. And I'm so proud of them. And I can unequivocally say that out of all 10 cohorts, this is my favorite of all of them. I mean, and they're seated right here. I mean, we've had some good ones, I'll tell you, but number 10 is really the best out of all those. But they've had an opportunity to find out a little bit about the finance of the district, about what's going on in curriculum. We spent some time on a Yellow Hound and toured the district and looked at district facilities, not all of them, but we've gotten to know each other a little bit and a little more about the district, and we hope to continue to see them find other ways they can serve and give back to this district as they already are in their individual campuses. So I'm going to call their name. Going to have them marked right up here as we would in any good graduation, and they can shake the superintendent's hand. And then why don't we congregate right back over here, and we'll get a picture and a good round of applause for everybody. So, Charity Baker. We can give her a round of applause. Trey Bell. I would do it. Looks like we're going to get a picture, but I don't think they are. So, okay. Julie Bass. Congratulations. Kaylin Correa. Stephanie Collier. Appreciate you being a part. Melissa Boland. Thanks for all you do. Nicole Matasso. She had to leave, didn't she? Adam Louts. Educator. We're proud of him. Thank you, sir. Megan Gilbert. Thank you. Sarah Reynolds. Eva Ray. Thanks for being a part of this. Jay Michaels. Thanks for serving on this. Jen Talbert. Jessica Slider. She wears lots of hats. Appreciate it. Jennifer Richardson. Brandy Walker. Abby Wininsky. And Ginger Zatinsky, is that right? Zentek, thank you. Zentek. Sir, appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, cohort number 10. Give them a round of applause for this thing. Thank y'all so much for serving. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it was worthwhile.
So I'm going to put you on the spot again. What was your favorite parent leadership group?
The first one. The first one?
Well, at some point, they were all my favorite. But right now, number 10 is clearly on top.
Okay, all right. I was just checking on that. All right, Dr. Campbell.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Stevens. Thank you, Mr. Adcox and School Board. Dr. Stevens, for many years, your focus has been us potentially hiring former students, and the flower arrangement that you have is from our advanced floral design class, and we were able to do just that. Maddie Carr is a former student of Magnolia West High School, and she is also our newest employee. This is her 4th day on the job, and this is what her Floral Design 2 classes did. She came in early in December, ordered them, took the delivery the first week, and this is her 4th day on the job. They wanted to say thank you for your hard work, show off what they do, and I just thought that's neat to be able to hire one of our former students. So that's awesome. I also wanted you to know how nervous I am because these people for so many years had my future in their hands. And looking at some of you, I'm glad you no longer have my future in your hands. Miss Kerr, if you were preaching, I would listen to you tonight. Thank you. You look so nice. And current school board members, would you please follow suit? I've been here 20 years, and I'd like a contract extension. So please, Miss Baker, even if it's a 6-1 vote, I'm okay with that. At this time, I'd like to ask Leslie Gutierrez to come on up here. And also, she's joined by her art teacher, Miss Tara Ratliff, and her principal, Miss Connie Felinsky. Throughout the school year, we have many opportunities to participate in art contests, and I send them all out to art teachers, and I don't require them to have their students participate, but very often our teachers grab onto that and select students to participate. And we, with our schools being built, we have a group called PBK Architects that has built many of our schools, and they have a contest where they ask students to draw a picture of their own school that PBK has built. And so then they have a contest, and then they have a calendar that comes out each year. And this year, Leslie Gutierrez was chosen as one of the students, and her artwork appears on next January, 2023, next January up here in the front of Bear Branch Intermediate School. And so at this time, what I'd like to do is recognize her parents, mom and dad back there, and brother or sister back there coming here to support her. So I'm just very proud of her. Leslie, I have 2 copies for you. I have a copy for her art teacher and a copy for her principal, unless they wanted to be so generous and donate them back to the student. And then that way, Grandma and Grandpa could have a copy. And looks like under no pressure they did that. So at this time, would you please join me in congratulating Leslie Gutierrez for being a PBK Architect Contest winner.
That's awesome. I think, are you going to spin it? Perfect. So I'm always impressed when someone can draw because I can't. I have an appreciation for artwork, but I can see it and I could stare at it for the rest of my life and probably not make it look at all like what it probably should look like. So congratulations on that. We typically would have taken a break right here, but because this will be the end of the event, we've got, I believe, is this the final? We've got 8 people. 8 people signed up to speak. They get 3 minutes. I'm not going to be reading the preamble that I typically read for that. So the first person that signed in was Cecil Bell Jr., who is a resident. And a former, and a parent, and a grandparent.
Well, that's right. He told me, Trey actually wrote that down for me. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to put this on in case my wife happens to see a picture. She'll at least know I was here. But I just want to take a few minutes, and I ask for the opportunity to speak directly to you because I know if you watch Twitter or you watch any of the other news feeds that sometimes our boards get a lot of negative attention. I don't believe in Magnolia ISD's case that is founded, nor do I believe in most cases that is the issue at hand. And as the father of two young men who started their public education in Magnolia ISD and who ultimately graduated from Magnolia ISD, I just want to tell you how impressive and important it is, the role that you hold, and how you help to shape what it is that our kids see and hear and act on inside our school district. Local control is very important when we're talking about our school districts, regardless of the other aspects of what come together to make the public education entity, as it is in Texas with all the different functions that are there. It ultimately resolves back down to you. You make sure that our kids, when they come to the campuses, people that are hired are the kinds of people that you would put your own kids in that class. In fact, you do, and you did. I did it with mine. I have a granddaughter that's at Nichols Sawmill Elementary School right now. I've got y'all a couple of more queued up. Yeah, they're a little ways out. One just turned 4, another one's 2, and one's just been born a month or so. So you're going to have to, make sure that you continue to focus this board on being a reflection of the community that it serves. That the same types of attributes and traits and characteristics that we expect to see in them as mature adults are what we put in them through your guidance, through making certain that you keep the focus on what it's supposed to be. I don't want to belabor it, but I do want to be certain that you hear clearly that I, both as the state representative for House District 3, as a parent of 2 students who graduated from here, and as the granddad of currently 4. There's still time though. Charlie, he and his wife are pretty young, so there's still time. So we may have more, but I'm confident that the same characteristics that allowed me to graduate from a public school and be successful in life, the same characteristics that allowed my wife to do so, the same characteristics that allowed my kids to graduate from right here, will continue to protect my grandchildren because of the character of the individuals that sat in those seats. And so the charge, I thought you said you weren't going to do that this time. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for all that you do and just to say how much I appreciate you. God bless you, and God bless Magnolia ISD.
Next, we have Sandy Barton. She is an MISD resident.
Mr. Adcox, Superintendent Stevens, thank you so much. I'm Sandy Barton, and on behalf of the Greater Magnolia Parkway Chamber of Commerce, I would like to express the thanks of our business community to the Magnolia ISD elected school board members who serve our students and our educational system, and those former school board members who have joined us here this evening. We want to thank you very much for all the work that you do. We don't usually think of school board members as school volunteers, since they're also elected officials, but they do in fact volunteer to serve. School board members choose to give their time, energy, and counsel to MISD without pay. They take on an often thankless job of governing our district and making the best decisions that they can for our children, with the full understanding that they may be subject to criticism for their positions and decisions, all the while knowing that the only payment that they will ever receive is the satisfaction that they personally get from serving the children of our community. Their contribution and your contribution should not be undervalued. The MISD school board members spend countless hours working on behalf of our community, and their work and guidance shapes the future of thousands, most of whom will never know or recognize your contribution. Their service, your service, and actions lay the foundation for the future of our school district, and more importantly, the future of each and every MISD student. You are all charged with making extremely difficult decisions, all with only the thanks from those of us in the community who understand how challenging your role is. People who take time to provide this important public service do so because they care. We understand you care about your own children's education, but you also care about the schools being the best that they can be. You care about our community, and you care about every single MISD student, both current and future. Like many volunteer leaders, you as MISD school board members and our former school board members have worked hard, unpaid and behind the scenes, to guide MISD leadership in providing a quality education to all students in our community. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you, board members, both current and present, for your service, especially during the past few years where our district was particularly challenged with COVID, online learning, budgeting challenges, staffing challenges, legislative mandates, and a myriad of other day-to-day challenges that made maintaining a high-quality educational system a little bit more difficult. You as dedicated public servants are our friends, our neighbors, our community leaders, and our parents. I ask those of you who are with us here tonight to join me in thanking each and every one of our current and former board members for their service to our community and to our children, both current and future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. All right. We can't see the timer up here either, so I think I'm not seeing it. I couldn't tell you when it's going to go off. I guess there's a glitch back there, but it is going off, as we've heard. The next person we have is Aaron Hill, and I'm going to stop right there because I'll mess up.
Jerkuski?
Ski. Yeah, I'll let you tell me. Durkowski.
I'm Erin Durkowski, that's right. Yes, very good, very good. Well, those were some kind of tough acts to follow. But I'm actually, I'm coming to you tonight hoping to get something on your radar. I have learned about a policy in the advanced placement program that is excluding kids for non-payment when they're not registering for their end of course exam, for their advanced placement exam. I realize that there's a grievance policy, and I do intend to follow the grievance policy, but since this is kind of one of those things where time is of the essence, the clock's ticking away, I wanted to get this in front of you as soon as possible. So students who, I'm sure you're aware, students who are not registered to take the AP exam at the end of the course are being removed from the course and placed into a level class, even though they would prefer to be in the AP class. And so I'm asking for your consideration to review the policy and hopefully allow kids who would like to participate in the AP course to continue to be in the course, regardless of if they register for that test, which is, I'm sure you know, it's optional in terms of as far as College Board is concerned. So, so that was what I was hoping you would consider for us tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you, ma'am. All right, Stasia Norris.
Good evening.
My name is Stacia Norris, and I'm the president of the Magnolia Education Foundation, or MEF. MEF is a nonprofit made up of volunteers with the purpose of supporting our educators and district employees to help produce the best, brightest, and most well-rounded students to send out into the world to represent our community. This would be lofty, almost unattainable goal without the support we receive from you, the Magnolia ISD School Board. I was raised to believe in the power of a thank you. And what an honor it is to stand here this evening during the School Board Appreciation Month to publicly thank you for your unwavering support you have given MEF over the years and currently. When we host an event, you're there. When we ask for counsel, advice, or help, you're there. When we ask permission to go into the schools with pom-poms, cowbells, and bullhorns to celebrate teaching excellence, you are giving us permission to do that. MEF and the school board have several things in common. We both love Magnolia. We both love our students. We both love our district employees. But we have something else in common. We have a volunteer spirit. And I found a quote about volunteers, and it is, "The heart of a volunteer is not measured in size but by the depth of commitment to make a difference in the lives of others." Well, your depth of commitment to MEF has made a difference. It has made a difference to the STAR educators, the grant winners, the scholarship recipients, the teachers of the month, and so many more. So thank you. Thank you for allowing MEF to be your partner. Thank you for supporting the ideas from the simple to the over the top. MEF would also like to say a very special thank you. Ms. Owens has fearlessly led the MEF for 4 years. Her contribution to MEF is priceless, and she worked tirelessly for this organization. And we just want to thank you so much. And we are thrilled to see your face up there with this school board. So, I speak for all of the volunteers at the Magnolia Education Foundation when I say thank you for the past 20 years of support, and we look forward to 20 years more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Norris. All right, next we have Ms. Russell.
Good evening and a Happy New Year to all of you. I've come before the school board repeatedly over the years about the IB program, which is a United Nations program. And I've learned over the process of the years, it's very hard to get anything done when you're working with just a school board. Your feet has been cut underneath you by the TASB, the Progressive Liberal Organization, the association that we fund. I was grateful to be able to work with some people at the state level. I had a state legislature call me recently that wants to meet with me about the IB program, and no, it wasn't Mr. Cecil Bell. And I'd like to read you a policy from an IB document that I printed out. It's from the director of the IB. He quit in 2005. He said, Western humanism celebrates the life we have in this world rather than any anticipated life beyond it. It does not deny the significance of religious belief, but insists that human virtue does not necessarily owe anything to religious intervention. Authority, religious and secular, is open to challenge in the search for truth. Empathy and scientific understanding create a set of moral values that confer dignity upon human beings who have the capacity, though not the necessity, to say no to God. This is the program that we've implemented in Magnolia, and I've tried to really talk to y'all, and I'm not getting anywhere. Y'all are obviously proud of it by sending out this pricey flyer and the community impact. Y'all have also sent the last board president to a CRT training. And it's disturbing. It was about CRT, it was about diversity and inclusion. And what disturbs me about spending our tax dollars on sending a school board member there is that y'all are so proud of it, y'all put it up on the website. And then some of the programs that y'all bought, and y'all approve them, like Character Strong. We spent $30,000 on Character Strong in 19. Y'all just approved a $300,000 payment to, I can't remember what it was, I mentioned at the last board meeting, that promotes CRT, social justice, equity, and I don't know what to do. I mean, I can come before you and tell you, but I'm getting nowhere. And I think our children deserve better. Unfortunately, all the good praises the kids, I think that's wonderful, these kids that are doing great. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. People don't know. And believe me, I have studied the federal Every Student Succeeds Act, and I have books up to here about the progressive education that has infiltrated our public school system statewide. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. Next, we have Grant Ebel.
All right. Hello, my name is Grant, and I've lived in Magnolia for most of my life. Oh, sorry, one sec. Didn't mean to do that. I graduated from Magnolia West High School last year, where I was the valedictorian and a member of the IB program. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican here to speak about my personal experience in the IB program. So IB is an optional 2-year advanced academic program for junior and senior students, offered at both Magnolia high schools. The program provides a guaranteed 24 college credits to students attending Texas colleges, and many scholarships are available specifically for IB students. In addition to this, most IB courses last 2 years, allowing students a deeper understanding of the given subject, whether it be mathematics, biology, computer science, or economics. In each IB class, students have to pick a topic to write about in an extended essay research paper. In history, I chose to write about the downfall of the Soviet Union and how U.S. economic and military initiatives fostered the collapse of the communist state. In Luke 6:43-45, Jesus teaches us to judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Let us judge the IB program in the same manner. At West, 6 of the top 10 graduates in my class were in the IB diploma program. This year, IB graduates from West are attending top universities across the country. Let me tell you about a few of my IB classmates and friends. Jack was commissioned to attend the United States Military Academy at West Point. Quentin received a full-ride scholarship to study computer science at the University of Alabama. Dylan is attending Notre Dame, and Grace is diving at Ohio University as a Division I student athlete, not to mention the slew of Aggies and a couple Longhorns the program has produced. While in Magnolia West IB program, not once was Marxism promoted or encouraged. In fact, we were taught quite the opposite. Okay. Long story short, we were taught about the capitalist free market system and economics, the horrors of communist dictatorships in history, and how in 100 years of communism, 100 million people have been killed. In English, we read the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. And I would ask you why a supposedly Marxist or socialist program would teach its students about the benefits of capitalism, the horrors of communism, and expose us to Christian authors and their works. To close, I'd like to thank you guys for your support of the program, and I would encourage anyone with concerns about the program to talk to someone actually associated with the program, not someone who's never set foot in an IB classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant. All right, next we have Alex Savo, former student, now an Aggie. Whoop! Oh, I can do that now that my daughter goes to A&M.
Hello, my name is Alex Savo, and I'm an engineering student at Texas A&M University. Before college, I grew up in Magnolia and did pre-K through 12th grade in the Magnolia School District. Last year, I graduated from Magnolia West High School, number 6 in my class, and I was a part of the IB Diploma program. Looking back on my high school experience, I'm so glad I chose to take part in the IB Diploma program because I genuinely do believe that IB did a great job in preparing me for college and the, quote, real world. IB educated me on many different perspectives in the world, yet my teachers never once endorsed a singular viewpoint such as Marxism. Throughout IB, I was able to take higher-level history classes that had a large focus on diving into how U.S. democracy was able to trump communist policy during the Cold War. The IB Diploma program allowed me to have authority in forming my own perspectives and viewpoints, and because of the depth of IB's historical analysis, I've come to better understand, love, and appreciate American democracy. Another benefit I received from the IB Diploma program was that I was able to get exposure to the framework of college itself. While in IB, I was able to learn how to do large-scale projects and college-level assignments. While I was in the IB Diploma program, each student was required to write an extended essay, and the depth of this essay mimics the type of depth required in the college-level papers. In my extended essay, I wrote a research paper studying multiple different engineered materials and their effectiveness as prosthetic ligaments. Throughout my extended essay and the other larger essays I wrote in IB, I was taught to actually apply what I was learning in the classroom to the real world. IB has also greatly helped me become a better speaker and communicator. Going into the IB program, I had very little confidence public speaking, but because presentations and oral analyses were a crucial part of the IB English curriculum, I've become much better at not only public speaking, but also simply communicating my ideas and thoughts with groups and fellow classmates. Overall, the skills and benefits I've received from IB have already proven so helpful to me in college, and I'm greatly thankful for the school board's support in Magnolia's IB program. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. All right, our last speaker is Chris Jones.
So I'm here to talk about appreciation for school board. I just want to let y'all know that I've worked with just about everybody over here on the school board. Some were there when I was a student in Magnolia, some as a deputy, and now as the elected constable, I've worked with some of them. So I want to say thank y'all for what y'all do. I understand that going out there, running for a position, being an elected official, you come out here, you're not getting paid for it. Sometimes people just don't. They don't understand it, and they don't like one thing that goes on in the whole cadre of everything that it takes to run a school district, and that's what they judge everybody on. So I want to thank y'all for being out here, for taking your time to be here. So I want to talk a little bit about security in Magnolia ISD. In 1996, the constable's office took over the contract for Magnolia ISD under then Constable David Hill. I was a reserve deputy at the time, but I worked a lot of the football games, filled in whenever I needed to, did that. Started my full-time career in 2000 at Magnolia High School. Worked there for several years where some of the board members were here now. I worked here as a supervisor over the schools and now as the elected constable over the schools. So we have 19 deputies assigned to Magnolia Independent School District, and when people hear that, they think, man, are your kids that bad that you got to have that many officers? And the answer is definitely no. And I have to explain to them that when something happens, we want to be there to stop it. We don't want to wait till after it happens to react to it. And that brings me up to 2018, to what happened down at the Texas City, in Santa Fe, when after that tragic incident down there, I got a call from the school board and said, hey, listen, we need to put an officer on every campus. And that was forethinking. That wasn't waiting around to see what everybody else was going to do. It was, hey, we need to do this. We need to do it now. So y'all gave me a month and a half to hire 10 people. Thank y'all very much for that. But I will tell you that, I'm sitting there as 20 years in law enforcement at the time thinking, how are we going to do this? Who wants to go work in an elementary school? It's going to be boring. There's nothing to do. We're not arresting 5-year-olds for anything. What are they going to do? And I had 20 applications come in, probably in 2 weeks, of people just wanting to retire and come and do that job. And it worked out great. So what we're seeing now over the last couple of years is not only when parents pull up and drop off their kids, you've got a student out there opening the doors for them. You got one of my officers out there opening the doors, welcoming them to school. And that gives that parent that little sense of security that they might need to go off to work. It might be for the kindergartner that's being dropped off, might help them a little bit more for that mom to drive off that day. So I applaud y'all for that. The second thing is what we're seeing, how these students react to these officers in the schools. They're eating lunch with them every day. They're talking to them every day. They're talking to them outside the school every day. And that, I believe, is going to make a difference in this community for the future. And I thank you, the school board now, and all the school members in the past. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chris. All right, once again, I want to apologize for any inconvenience the change may have caused, and I do thank everyone for coming, and this concludes this evening.